It's rarefied air for the Oregon Ducks, flying into the conference lead, the nation's top 10 with a Player of the Year candidate leading the way. Today, the California Bears step into Matt Court to try to cool off the Pac-10's hottest team. It's Oregon and California coming up next from the pit.
Hey everyone, welcome to MacArthur Court in Eugene. Get ready for a sold-out, rocking house tonight in Eugene at the pit. This place was going crazy on Thursday night. The crowd willing Oregon to the victory over Stanford, putting them at 17-1 on the season tonight against the California Golden Bears at 12-6. Hi everyone, Joe John Sunday along with my friend Rob Kloss. Rob, this place has been amazing. The buzz, not just local now though, but starting to take off across the country.
No doubt about it. Oregon's in uncharted territory right now, Joe. It's been 80 years since they've been 17-1, and that's when this place opened. So there's a lot of buzz nationally, a lot of buzz locally.
Yeah, and when you talk about that buzz, we're starting to hear Aaron Brooks' name, not just as the Pac-10 Player of the Year, if the season ended today, and he's having a great season, but even as the National Player of the Year. He is playing at an extremely high level right now.
No doubt about it. Aaron Brooks has taken a lot of big shots for Oregon this year, and when Oregon needs a bucket, he seems to be the one to sense that and is taking it upon his shoulders as senior leader to take that shot.
3 game-winning shots, and nobody's really been able to guard him off the dribble. That will probably change today because on the other side is the person who was the All-Pac-10 point guard a year ago, Ayinde Ubaka for Cal.
Ayinde Ubaka, same thing. He's a barometer for Cal. Typically, the way Ayinde Ubaka plays is the way Cal plays. He sets the tone. He's a leader, another senior, and that's what you want out of your senior guard. But he's taken some big shots this year, especially in overtime against some good teams.
And as you mentioned, just hammered the Ducks last year. Cal beat Oregon 3 times a year ago, the final one coming in that double overtime thriller at the Pac-10 tournament in Los Angeles. Oregon looking for a little bit of revenge there. Cal thinks they know how to beat this team, so we're ready for a big one here at the pit. Oregon trying to keep pace in the Pac-10 over the UCLA Bruins. They're tied with them right now. We'll have it for you coming up next from MacArthur Court.
Tonight's game is brought to you by American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Your Northwest Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns. Oregon Community Credit Union. Personal service you can expect. And by Singular Wireless. Raising the bar.
Welcome back to MacArthur Court as the Oregon Ducks are being introduced here in front of a packed to capacity crowd. I mean, every seat in the upper third deck is taken here today for this Pac-10 matchup. Let's take a look at today's Star Watch. We talked about it at the start, Rob, but these two players deserve another mention because they both lead their teams. And Ryan Anderson has been scoring a lot for California, but when the game is on the line, they go to Ubaka.
Ubaka's been taking the big shots. He scored 6 points in overtime against the University of Washington out of their 13, and just seems to be the guy that makes the big shots at clutch times.
Let's take a look at our Northwest Dodge dealers' keys to the game today. California and the Ducks. And Rob, give me an idea kind of what you think needs to happen today for each team to win the game.
Well, for California, they want to clip the Ducks' wings. They don't want to get in a track meet with the University of Oregon. Their coaching staff wants them to stop the Ducks from flying on the break, and then they want to win the battle of boards. Coach Ben Braun says 95% of the time they do that, they win. And for Oregon, they really want to limit the looks for Ryan Anderson and Ayinde Ubaka. Look for Oregon to try and take the ball out of their hands because they're such prolific scorers, and then they want to keep running efficiently. In other words, that means running smartly, keeping turnovers to a minimum, and taking good shots.
Keys to the game are brought to you by your friends at your friendly Northwest Dodge dealers. Today's starting lineups for California: Ubaka, Wilkes, Christopher, Robertson, and Anderson. Of course, they're missing Devon Harden in the middle. For the Ducks, it's Brooks, Tawan Porter. They play 2 guards out there at the front. Either one can run the point at any time. Malik Hairston, Bryce Taylor, and Marty Lunan is playing very well as well.
That Marty Lunan, Ryan Anderson matchup is going to be intriguing for me tonight. Both these teams are mirror images of themselves. 1 undersized post and 4 very good shooting wings. It should be a very interesting game today.
Bears win the tip. Want to welcome all of you watching around the San Francisco Bay Area through the state of California. Welcome to Eugene. Those of you watching in the state of Oregon down south, Also in Central Oregon on KOHD and in the Eugene-Springfield area and in Portland. We are underway here at the pit. Here's Ubaka, tries to dish it off. Oregon comes up with it. There's Brooks with the ball. Outside, Porter passes up the three-pointer. Inside, Malik Hairston lays it up and in.
Excellent penetration by Tawan Porter right there, finding his old teammate from Detroit, Renaissance High, Malik Hairston, for an easy layup.
Here's Ubaka. So many great freshmen in this league, Rob, with Anderson down low now. We'll get to see him. He's matched up with Marty Lunin right now. And we'll talk about it in the course of the afternoon. Here's Anderson creating space for himself. He goes up, and I think they're going to get him on a travel. They will, but he has been unbelievably good this year as a freshman.
You know, you can make the argument he could be the freshman player of the year. You got Taj Gibson from USC, which is another good choice. Chase Budinger from Arizona. You got Quincy Poindexter, Spencer Haas from Washington. You got the man with the ball right now, Tawan Porter. Started off scoring 33 points a game, averaging his first 4 games, had 10 three-pointers in one game, which is a Pac-10 record.
I think you definitely put Oregon's freshmen, Tawan Porter and Taj Gibson and Anderson in the same category, and the Pac-10 would put their all-freshman team up against anybody else's all-freshman team, and there's Porter hitting right at the start of the game.
Tawan Porter's shooting the ball, leads the Pac-10 in average threes made per game at 3. Like we said, he had 10 in one game, which is a Pac-10 record. When you think, Joe, about how many great players have played in the league, that's pretty amazing.
Nice play for California to get the basket. Omar Wilkes on the baseline. 5-2, and they are on the board here with 2 minutes gone in Eugene at MacArthur Court. Here's Bryce Taylor. Over to Malik Hairston. Malik missed a lot of time, and they're going to get him on an offensive foul. Malik missed a lot of time early in the year with a couple of different injuries. Had a hamstring and then a heel injury, Rob, and he's just now kind of getting back into it.
He's missed 10 games. He's not quite in condition, but boy, he sure has helped on the boards. Didn't have a very good game against Stanford, but did have 9 rebounds, which helped against that very, very, very tall Stanford team.
Christopher with the ball now. Brooks matching up on him. And here's Tawan Porter playing defense on Omar Wilkes. Robertson gets blocked and out of bounds. Interesting matchup. So we're seeing Bryce Taylor go up against Ubaka, and Oregon's put Bryce Taylor usually on the best offensive player for the other team.
Right, he guarded Goods from Stanford, and he seems to rise to the occasion, takes a lot of pride in his defense, doing a good job so far, and a lot of times he's guarding the 4-man, which he is really a 2 guard, so he's doing a good job, doubled his rebounds from last year.
Ubaka will reset it with 4 on the shot clock. He's going to just have to fire it up. 2-1. The three-point attempt is good for Ubaka, and that's a recognition thing for the Oregon defense to know how much time's on that clock.
No doubt about it, and right there, Ubaka, he knew how much time was left. He knew he could take a longer than usual range three-pointer, knocked it down.
There's Porter on the baseline, gives it back to Aaron Brooks. Brooks drives out, Hairston open for 3, and Malik hits.
One of the things that Oregon is doing very good this year, and that's a prime example of, is spreading you out and making the play. Their spacing has been excellent. Has a pretty easy jump shot right there by Malik Hairston.
Hairston with 5 early points here to kick things off as we bounce along the floor here at Mac Court. Here's Porter. Hairston down low, and a big foul as Lunin takes it up. He will go to the line and shoot a couple of free throws.
Here's an example right here of that spacing we were talking about. Very, very easy shot, and it all was because the Ducks were properly spaced, and it makes it easy to penetrate. And here's this foul right here by Patrick Christopher, a freshman, 23, but makes Marty Lunin go to the free throw line to earn these 2 points.
Last 2 possessions show you what it's been for Oregon. They've been able to win games whichever way they've played them. Whether it's been a possession game like we saw the last time when they had the ball, or an up and down game where they had to run the ball. Ducks are 17-1, of course, and they have only lost to USC in a faster-paced game. But against Stanford, it was a slugfest, and they still won. You
know, very rarely do you win when you only shoot 29% from the field and you get 10 shots swatted like happened against Stanford. But they only had 5 turnovers. speaking about Oregon, the stance was 15, so they made it up there, and they played good defense and knocked down their free throws.
Oregon off to a quick start here, leading it 10-5 over the Bears. Down low, Robertson. Tough break. Anderson, a great follow, and it goes around and down. Tough rebound for Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson had 14 rebounds the other day against University of Washington. He can board, and I'm impressed with the fact that he can get up so quickly after a ball goes up in the air. Very quick jumper.
They turn it right back over. Taylor for three, no good. Lunan trying to work for the rebound. Cal's going to come out with it. Omar Wilkes with it. They leave him alone for just a second. He fires the three and knocks it down.
One of the things you're going to find about Cal this year is they're shooting more threes than they have. They've made more threes to this point this year than they have 2 of the last 3 years in Ben Braun's system.
Taylor down low, takes it up. Tough break. Lunan's there for the rebound. Can't get it. Too far under the basket, and will go the other way. Cal with a chance to take the lead. Roberts a little head fake. Dumps it back out. Wilkes knocks it down. Nothing but net, and the Bears lead it 13-10. 8-0 run just like that for Cal in the last minute.
Omar Wilkes, a great standing shooter. Penetration by Cal. He was there, ready to shoot it, knocked it down.
Back to Aaron Brooks for three. No good. Bears get the rebound. Anderson can shoot from three. He's actually one of their best three-point shooters at 40% on the year.
And will shoot it. Knocked down a big three-pointer at the end of the first half in the Oregon State game on a high pick and pop.
There's Robertson as he backs it out. What a season it's been so far in the Pac-10. Anderson down low, and they'll get him on an offensive foul. The freshman doing a good job here early as Cal has grabbed the lead, 13-10. The Ducks have cooled off here in the last few minutes for California, just heating up with 14-23 here in the first. And welcome back, everyone, to the Pit. MacArthur Court, 80 years old here at the Pit. Thought we might be in a new arena by now, Rob, because I remember we did a 75th anniversary goodbye deal, but not able to get the arena underway. But it's coming sometime soon. 13-10, California leads. And, boy, a lot of people will miss this old place because there's nothing like being in here. And I know ESPN's Joe Lunardi this week said, hey, that's number 2 on my list right behind the Palestra. So pretty good environment. We'd like to welcome all of our viewers today along the Oregon Sports Network. KZI in Eugene and Springfield, KDRV in Medford and Grants Pass, KDKF in Klamath Falls, KOHD, a special welcome on the news station of Central Oregon, connecting Central Oregon, KOHD, KRCW in Portland and Vancouver, around the world on the Ozone, and a special welcome, as I mentioned earlier, for those of you watching on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome to Eugene, Oregon. The weather is moderated here a little bit. Cal, though, heating up, 8-0 in the last 2:05.
And now you know Ubaka is doing a great job of pushing the tempo, and that's one of the differences in Cal this year is they are really looking to up tempo and create mismatches. They lost 2 7-footers in Devon Harden and Jordan Wilkes earlier and had to change their philosophy a little bit. That's a lot of rebounds, and their inside presence isn't as big as it used to be, so they're trying to create mismatches by running.
Bryce Taylor with a backdoor cut gets blocked. It's the third block already. They were blocked 10 times against Stanford the other night. Cal doing a good job on their interior defense right now.
One of the barometers for Ben Braun is defense and rebounding. Right now, California is doing a fantastic job of playing defense, especially half court.
Down low to Anderson. He gets double teamed, takes it up, and hits. Boy, I'd love to see a matchup of Anderson and Taj Gibson. They're very similar in how they play.
Oh, that was just a great shot. He got double teamed, recognized the double team, had the wherewithal to knock it down over a shorter Chamberlain Aguchi.
Aguchi on the other end with the lay-in. Vernisol on the inside, and then he does a good job putting it up and in. He doesn't score a lot. He's had to play a lot more minutes after Devon Harden went down, Rob.
He's coming off a career-high 13 points at Oregon State, but those were mostly threes. He has 4 for 5 from the three-point line, so that was a nice little medium-range game.
Aguchi hits for 3. There's Vernisol. Back to Ubaka. Randall is in the game as well. Vernisol's to fire it up. No good, but great tip by Anderson to Theo Robertson. What a play by the freshman.
Kept that ball alive to Theo Robertson. Knew he didn't have a shot. Chamberlain Oguchi hit that other three. Checking his temperature right there, trying to knock down another one.
Deep three for Ubaka is good. And Oregon wants a quick timeout to talk about it. 22-15. Ernie Kent's not happy with Chamberlain Oguchi.
One of the things Oregon did is they went zone the last two possessions, and that was a wide open three for Ubaka, and coach isn't very happy about it.
22-15, and give Cal credit, they're really knocking down their threes right now.
Yeah, and they're moving the ball. They're realizing the open jumper. That's a deep three, though. I mean, that's a very good shot by a very, very good player, and that's one of the things that you can watch for this year is Cal can knock it down from three, and especially they're a lot like Oregon in that they're big. They're four-player. Ryan Anderson can knock it down also. In fact, he's shooting 40%.
I'll tell you one thing, Rob. You never really know what to expect in this conference. If you go into a game thinking it's going to go one way or the other way, you just can't tell. There have been very few blowouts. Today we saw Washington State blow Washington off the floor. But other than that, you just don't know. I mean, the home teams are winning as much as the visiting teams. You just cannot tell from game to game.
Watch out for Washington State. They blew out Cal in Haas Pavilion. I mean, that was unusual also.
Here's Tawan Porter. Tries to go inside if we can get him on the travel. He wanted the foul, but he'd take an extra step, and Cal up by 7, looking to extend it now with 12:08 to go here in the first half. Very impressed with the Bears here so far, Rob. They have really taken it to Oregon so far. Right
now they're playing very aggressively, both offensively and defensively. Not intimidated at all by MacArthur Court, the students. And Ernie Kent has said many times, the student section is a great six-man.
Jerome Randall to the basket. Just a freshman from Chicago. Here's Lunan. Ducks are down by 9. Biggest deficit they faced on Thursday night was 8 in the second half against Stanford. Came back and won the game by 7. Little backdoor cut for the stop.
Good things happen when you get the ball into the paint. Hunt the paint, peek at the rim. Nice little look right there by Marty Lunan. The defense have had to pay attention to him in the low box against Theo Robertson. Bryce Taylor got open.
Here's Randall again, goes for the high teardrop. Here comes Oregon, trailing by a touchdown, 24-17, and a foul on Ubaka.
One of the things that Coach Ben Braun and Tim Floyd both said, that it's hard to stay in front of the Ducks.
11:03 to go here in the first half. Ducks trying to climb their way back into this thing, trailing the Bears by 7. Hey everybody, welcome back to Matt Court. Here's our Comcast trivia question for today. Oregon's 17-1 start, second best in history. How about the best? Can you come up with that year? Remember, the Ducks had a phenomenal year in 2001, 2002 when they went to the Elite Eight, but that year didn't start out great. Remember, they lost to Portland, they lost at UMass, came on strong at the end.
Yeah, they definitely came on strong at the end. That was a situation where they were early rotten and they riped late. They definitely had some tough losses. I remember that University of Portland with Freddie Jones and Luke, and that was a tough loss, but they finished extremely strong.
This team has created kind of an uncommon buzz regarding basketball here in the state of Oregon, going 17-1 and moving their way into the top 10. Here's Brooks, dumps it out to Hairston, and they pass it around and turn the ball over. Omar Wilkes gives it up to Robertson for 3, and he knocks it down again. California's unconscious from beyond the arc.
40% three-point shooting for Theo Robinson. Worked on his body last year. Much quicker, much more explosive. He had an unbelievable dunk in the Oregon State game. Shot faked a guy and went baseline and dunked it on him. But very impressed with him so far this game.
5 out of 6 from three-point range right now. So just doing a great job. Here's Jovan Catron working against Anderson. Tries to muscle it in. Gives it up to Hairston, who lays it home.
Boy, I can't emphasize enough. When you get the ball that deep in the paint, a lot of good things happen. You can shoot it from 2 feet. You can, if nobody's going to put a hand up, you usually can knock it down. But if somebody does decide to guard you, you got an easy pass for a lay-in. It's a good example right there.
Long three for Ubaka, not there, and Brooks tries to tip it away. Ubaka gets it, gives it up, and a foul is called by the official on Jovan Catron. Probably a good foul to take rather than give up an open dunk.
Right here is Jovan Catron getting two people to guard him. Creates a lot of attention, makes it an easy pass to Malik Harrison, who can finish with his left or right. So, again, just getting the ball deep, and another example right there. Ayindu Ubaka drove the lane, got a double team, and had a very, very easy pass to Ryan Anderson, who's knocking down his free throws. Ryan Anderson shot 83% in high school, shooting only 77% here. But this kid, I'm very, very impressed with. Seen a lot of film on him. He's made some big shots. Scored 18 first-half points up in Oregon State a couple nights ago.
Right now, the Bears are just doing everything right. They're getting loose balls. They're out rebounding Oregon 10-3. They're unconscious from three-point range. And the Ducks are trailing it by 10. Iguchi draws some attention. Back to Brooks. Bears working hard on defense. Hairston. Brooks, a 15-footer. Aaron Brooks with his first two of the night. Crowd trying to will Oregon back in this thing here, trailing by 8. 9:16 to go here in the first half.
Oregon playing man-to-man now, getting out of that zone.
Wilkes. Now Robertson. He backs it out. Foot might have been on the line. No good. Anderson tips it away, and Iguchi comes up with it. Here's Brooks. Looking for an opening. He'll stop and go. Not much there, and he has to send it back out to Hairston. Bears only have 9 scholarship players here. You'll wonder at this pace how it will go. Oregon, though, doesn't really go deep to their bench either.
Yeah, it's going to be
7 guys.
It's going to be an up and down game. Both teams like to run.
Catron misses the lay-in, gets it back, and then gets fouled. They'll go to the line and shoot a couple of free throws.
One of the things that Cal does very well is keep people in front of you, and as you get by, you get very good help. Same thing Oregon's trying to do is Oregon's trying to defend. The big difference between this year's team and last year's team is they're trying to defend the initiation pass in front of the post and getting up the line, playing much more aggressive defense this year than last year.
It's a big free throw for Catron. He's only 46% on the year, so he knocks down his first one. Cuts the lead back to 7.
You know, Jovan was a 78% free throw shooter in high school, so I suspect that he's going to get better as time goes on.
A little different environment, huh?
Yeah, just a hair. Little bigger stage.
Wait till he visits Haas Pavilion.
Here's this high pick and roll, a lot like what Aaron Brooks and Marty Lunan do. Oregon did a good job right there defending it.
Here's Ubaka as he backs it out down to 13. On the shot clock, has to finally give the ball up. Pribble throws it away. Not a good first touch for Pribble. No. Alex Pribble, senior from Fairfax, California.
Great story on Pribble. He's not a scholarship player prior to the 05-06 season, but has won the Mr. Hustle Award at Cal. So the kids respect him, and he's playing right now big-time minutes in a big-time Pac-10 game.
Here's Cal defending that high pick and roll. The pass all the way over to Iguchi, who passed up the shot. Down to Catron. He spins. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Oregon basketball. Ducks have inched a little bit closer here. 7:42 to go in the first half. California leading it 29-23 over the 10th-ranked Oregon Ducks. Welcome back, everyone. Let's revisit our Comcast trivia question. Oregon's 17-1 start is the second best in the history. So, what was the best? Well, unless you're, probably, let's say 90 years old, you wouldn't remember. I mean, that would make you 10.
Yeah.
If you're 100, maybe you played in it. 24-1, the first year in Matt Court. That year, Oregon was 24-1, lost their last 3 games of the season. Different day. I mean, the first NCAA championship didn't come until 1939, and Oregon won that first NCAA championship. In those days, the NIT was the big tournament.
No doubt about it. NIT in New York City, everybody loved to go to that, and the NC2A was not much publicized. March Madness has changed that.
Ducks trying to get there after a few-year drought as Hairston down is inside and gets the lay-in, but the Ducks did not go. Cal went last year. Ducks have had a 3-year drought trying to get back, and now they're on an 8-2 run, and they've cut the lead to 4.
Nice job by Jovan Catron that last possession of finding Malik Hairston wide open after he got the ball on the cut.
Anderson, nice pass. Backdoor. Felt like I was watching the old Ralph Miller backdoor right there, and it was Charlie Sitton to Mark Radford for the lay-in, drawing the foul.
Beaver backdoor. Patrick Christopher did a nice job on that particular play, and ball goes high. Defensive player takes his eye off it, looking at the ball, and Patrick Christopher, a true freshman at 6'5", took advantage of it.
So Christopher, a couple of free throws here, 70% on the year, and he knocks the first down.
Patrick Christopher starting 7 games ago against DePaul, and he's a slasher driver, likes to go right a lot, and Ben Braun has a lot of confidence in him. He started every Pac-10 game so far this year.
Lead goes back to 6. Ubaka, who took a little bit of a rest, is back in the basketball game now. Ducks will counter with Marty Lunan, Porter, Aaron Brooks, Jovan Catron on the post of Malik Hairston. Ducks have not gone to Adam Zahn, although we've seen him play a lot, and Chamberlain, Aguchi, and Taylor will take a little bit of a rest here. Almost another turnover. Omar Wilkes getting in the passing lanes, working hard.
Knocked over Phil Knight's coat. Joey Harrington, a little bit of water in front.
Ought to be able to get another one for Mr. Knight, huh? Another soda pop?
That might be appropriate. I wonder if Omar will do that for him.
Officials want to get it wiped up. The guy's got to come back over. They're asking for him, but he doesn't really hear him. Hey, fans, ensure the future success of Oregon athletics by donating to the Duck Athletic Fund, which provides scholarships to deserving student athletes. For more information, call the DAF office at 541-346-5433. We're still trying to get some help to clean up the water over here that got knocked onto the floor. Might have been a Pepsi as well. And now finally Mackenzie Kent comes over, the coach's daughter, to get it done. There's Mackenzie, and you see Joey there on the left, and Phil Knight in a yellow hat on the left. Joey Harrington here of the Miami Dolphins. So Mackenzie Kent finally has to take it into her own hands because the Moppets, as they're called, just couldn't get the message. But they had to get over there and clean it up.
Not experienced enough. Mackenzie Kent's been in enough basketball games that she knows what to do in this situation.
Sure. They're still working at it. That must have been a full soda pop. 31-25, 7:01 to go, and we talked earlier today about, boy, Washington State, this is not a fluke. 21 is probably low for them right now. Derek Lowe, 20 points. And they're beating people convincingly right now. They're looking very good.
Remember, they beat Cal by a large amount down in Berkeley, and that hasn't happened in a heck of a long time. And then they came back, and I think they are the team that surprised me most, them and USC this year. I knew that Oregon and Cal were going to be tough, but those two teams have really surprised me.
All right, so we got the Pepsi cleaned up on the floor and ready to play some basketball here. 31-25, California with the lead. Harrison takes it inside. He's trying to dish it out to Catron, who didn't see it coming. Probably didn't get a lot of passes like that in Rockford, Illinois, that's for sure.
And Malik Harrison tried to make a play right there, and Jovan and Malik haven't played that much together. Jovan being a true freshman.
Robertson passed up. The shot takes it inside, and it pays off with the lay-in, and the lead is back to 8 for California. Oregon led it at 10-5. The Bears went on an 8-0 run, and they have not trailed since.
Now the Bears are playing a little zone. They don't play much zone.
Lunan lays it in.
sure Ben Braun just wanted to switch it up a little bit, get to a different type of tempo, change it up on Oregon, get them out of rhythm.
33-27 here. 6:03 counting to go in the first half. There's the matchup. Ubaka and Aaron Brooks, and now Robertson will give it back to Randall, working against Tawan Porter. 8 on the shot clock. Back out for a three. Wilkes. No good, but Anderson with the rebound. Long rebound comes out to the freshman.
That's a long rebound, and a 6'10 player going over Javon Catron, who at 6'6 did a good job of blocking out. Just a long rebound. Ryan Anderson went up and got it.
Here's Ubaka. Catron's fronting the post against Anderson, and they're going to use a timeout, trying to deny Anderson the touches, and they've really done a pretty good job with that so far. He's got 6 points. He had 18 in the first half against Oregon State the other night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And right now, Oregon has done a good job of that all year. And we're going to take a look right here of Malik Harrison doing a great job of getting the ball to Mari Lunin against that Cal zone. And maybe that's one of the reasons that Cal hasn't been playing a lot of zone. They don't play a lot of zone, but I'm sure Ben won't be in it too long.
.5:21 to go. Hey, folks, don't forget we got some basketball coming up here this week at Matt Court. In the middle of the week, women's team playing against Oregon State on a Wednesday night, January 24th, 7 o'clock at MacArthur Court. The Civil War, presented by your Northwest Dodge dealers here at the Pit, Oregon and Oregon State. So a rare Wednesday event here at MacArthur Court. Here's Anderson. Lunin kind of slipped down. Anderson with the follow basket, a stat pattern.
I'm not so sure that one of the Ducks didn't tip that one in, actually, but it was a isolation out of the timeout to Ryan Anderson. Marty Lunin got a little bit of help, but excellent call at it from the out of bounds by Ben Braun.
Here comes Randall. Gets tipped away. Great hustle by Aaron Brooks, and Oregon comes out with it. Here's Hairston. Lunin down low. Catron lays it in.
Both teams are getting up and down the court. Looking at the Ducks getting up and down, and also Jerome Randall just fast.
Catron trying to get the steal and fouls Robertson.
Here's Marty Lunin in this last possession, pushing the ball up and then making a great feed. Marty Lunin on that play started it off by pushing the ball ahead, and that's for all you young players. When somebody's open up ahead of you, push it up, and it creates a lot of opportunities.
Both teams are shooting it great. Cal's at 56, Oregon's at 57%. Both teams getting open looks pretty much every time down the floor. 15 on the shot clock. Into the corner. Fernisol, no good, and Catron loses it out of bounds. Sometimes it feels like a
grease pig.
Grease ball.
I can tell you one thing right now, Javon Catron, that's the easiest rebound he's had in the last 4 games. He's going to be kicking himself watching that on film.
Robertson puts it up for 3, and he hits it. Put awful close to the line on that one, but he was just behind it. 38-29. The lead goes back to 9 for California. They're now up to 60% after that. Brooks penetrates, gets tipped away. Ducks have turned the ball over more than they did the entire game the other night. And look at Aaron Brooks with the block. Wow! Worth it. Aaron Brooks climbing the golden ladder to knock it away. 38-29 here. Cal leading it by 9 with 3:44 to go here in the first half. Welcome back, everyone. 38-29 here at the Pit. Quite a first half so far. California playing very well here to start the basketball game in the first half. Are you ready for a super great time, fans? Well, the Junior Duck Club is a great way for children 12 and under to experience Oregon athletics. Go to GoDucks.com for more information and be a Junior Duck.
Here's a chance right now, seeing Allende Ubaka, but Aaron Brooks, the height that he gets, that reminds me a lot of what I used to see Ronnie Lee do before you could dunk it. Just an excellent job of getting back, and it shows you his jumping and athletic ability.
Dribble in the game. This time his backdoor pass is good, and the lay-in is there for Wilkes.
That's the second time out of timeouts that California has got a backdoor. That's basically to fight Oregon pressure.
Porter answers with a three. They needed that big time, Rob. They were trailing by 11 and made a little bit of a run. Cal getting a lot of steals, out rebounding Oregon.
Juan Porter, if you're a Duck fan, that's nice to see him knock down some jumpers. He's been relatively quiet after scoring 27, 28, 38, 12 in his first 4 games, but his game's all about separation, and when you have a toe injury, that doesn't happen.
Ducks need a win to keep pace with UCLA, who beat Arizona today. Great pass down low, and the Bears get another lay-in. I mean, it's an open three-pointer or a lay-in every time for California.
One of the things Ben Braun loves about his team, and talking to him in the shoot-around this morning, is they work hard and they do follow instructions. And right now, their game plan is to penetrate and dish and have a good possession each game. And here we go. We got Eric Bernasol, who's penetrating. Good things happen when you do penetrate. Omar Wilkes was a beneficiary of that.
Points in the paint, California with 16, the Ducks with 14. I think the biggest thing is Cal has 6 3-pointers, but they're just killing Oregon on the boards. 15-5 right now. Moving the ball well with 9 assists. Both teams with 4 fouls. So doesn't look like much chance to get to the free throw line here at the end unless someone goes to the basket. Catron works hard up, and he will go to the line, shooting the ball. 15 foul on the Bears.
Excellent hustle right there by Jovan Catron, getting that rebound, going up strong, and is going to be rewarded with the 2 free throws.
It's been nice to watch a first half that we doesn't get stopped every 5 seconds, Rob, with a whistle. The other night, Oregon shot so many free throws in that game in the second half, and this game is not nearly as physical as that game against Stanford was.
I thought Stanford came out and really worked hard defensively and set the tone, and it was a very physical game from the get-go, and that's why Oregon was at the free throw line so much, but Stanford was definitely aggressive, especially in the first half of that game on Thursday.
Now, from a pure talent standpoint, it's easy to see why Cal beat Stanford at Stanford. Very talented team. Very talented team,
and that's the first time I think Cal had beat Stanford in 14 years at Naples Pavilion. So this team is on a roll. They've won 4 of their last 5 and the last 3 on the road, so they can go, Joe.
Here's Robertson, puts his nose down and heads to the basket and gets a rebound and lays it in. The lead's 11.
Boy, he has really changed his body from last year. He's lost about 25 pounds, much more explosive and much quicker on offense.
Back to Brooks. Brooks goes down into the baseline. Catron has to run it down. He gets hit from behind. And they're going to give the ball to Oregon, which was probably the least damaging way to do it. The Cal Bears are upset about the call, but it probably should have been a foul because Catron had the ball in bounds and got knocked out of bounds.
Right. And you could have called a foul right there on Eric Bernasol coming in to Catron. But, back to the Bears, I want to know, I would love to be in that practice after they got out-rebounded 36-27 against Washington State, and then they just killed the Dogs on the boards the next game.
Brooks for 3, a deep one. Brooks with 5 now.
We talked about in the open big shots, and Aaron Brooks sensed that Ducks needed a big one, and he's the one that took it.
Oregon within 8 as we go to 1 minute here in the first half. Randall backs it out. Down low, Anderson gets tipped away, and he'll go to the line. 47 seconds to go here. Anderson will go to the line. Bears leading by 8, 44 points in the first half. Wow. It's the most Ducks have allowed here in a Pac-10 contest as far as up and down the floor. Cal's doing a great job converting offensively and getting good looks, and that percentage really reflects it at 55%.
Every time down court, they're getting a good shot. They're doing a good job of exploiting Oregon's defense. And this young man right here, who was the third leading scorer in the state of California last year at almost 29 a game, is really a talented offensive player. I'm very impressed with him. First time I've seen him live.
10-point lead for the Bears now. Here's Brooks inside. He banks it off the window and cuts the lead to 8 here with 35 to go. And the Bears likely will hold on for the last shot here in the first half. And Rob Koss going to make his way to the other side and get a word with Ernie Kent before the end of the break here. No shot clock, under 20. Randall with the ball. Working against Porter. When he decides to, here he goes. Over to the corner to Wilkes. Wilkes throws it away. There's 2 seconds left. Porter for 3. It'll count. Oh! Off the back iron. Tawan Porter almost gives Oregon a huge lift before the break. But as it is, they are within 8 points here against a very impressive performance of the California Bears here in the first half. Coming up on our singular halftime report, we'll hear from Coach Kent. Highlights and stats from around the country and the stats from here, and also our Pac-10 scoreboard. Let's go over to Rob Kloss, who's with Oregon head coach Ernie Kent. Rob?
Coach, both teams shooting over 50%. Cal's doing a very good job of exploiting your defense, and you're getting out rebounded. What adjustments going to make in the second half?
Well, they're exploiting our bad defenses. They're exploiting. So the adjustment, we need to lock up and defend. They're just like us. We need to defend the one-on-one drive a little bit better, Rob.
Okay, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Robbie, thanks very much. You can bet that Coach Kent will be talking about defense downstairs here in the basement of MacArthur Court. The Bears put up 46 on them in the first half, and they lead the number 10 team by 8. Singular halftime report coming up next.